This is the second battle in the Cup of Nations between Agni, the Prussian prince, and Agni Duck. Kingdom of Mercia versus Kingdom of Asturias again, because in the Cup of Nations, players are stuck with their faction. The faction that they start out with is the faction they're going to continue playing throughout the tournament. I don't know if it's for the duration of the tournament, but I think it is. So, the Prussian prince with Mercia now has 3 axes, 2 spears, 4 axes, 2 spears. His center is still, let's see, a bunch of royal thanes. So, a bunch of royal thanes, then 4 horsemen, and the royal companions. This is very, very rushy by the Prussian prince. The Kingdom of Asturias, Iberian cavalry, as expected. Levy spears, swordsmen, very cheap units. More noble skirmishers, a total of 3 of those. And the same thing over here, some swordsmen, levy spears, swordsmen, and royal guards in the center. Now, dealing with the shield walls of the Prussian prince could become an issue for Duck here. But the way the Prussian prince has deployed, it's almost like he wants to protect his main line, both from skirmish and from cavalry. And you can sort of see that even though there are no major advantages in melee from going spaghetti anymore, you can see both players are deploying relatively wide. I don't know if this is intentional, but I think it is. The center generally being wider than the units on the flanks. These are anti-cavalry units, so keeping them a bit denser makes sense. The Prussian prince does not do that. But going wide like this means that you cover more of the battlefield. There are still advantages to be had, just not the huge advantage in isolated combat that we saw in Attila and in Rome too before. The horsemen, no, they don't want to risk it. I keep saying it, I'm going to say it again, shield wall is going to be incredibly important for both players here. And the Prussian prince looks like he wants to rush hard, he wants to get to grips hard. The swordsmen are already in shield wall. The levy spearmen are still in spear wall. Sneaky little feared spear here, rushing in towards the noble skirmishers, taking a lot of fire. Great use of the feared spearmen. Here come the Iberian cavalry into the thanes. The royal thanes are, however, in shield wall, so the casualties they sustain are going to be minimal. The Iberian cavalry did not get a good charge there. Here come the select axemen rushing in, horsemen rushing in, so noble skirmishers have gotten a lot of kills, but they are out of ammunition. And here come the feared axemen crashing into the noble skirmishers. It's going to kill the noble skirmishers very quickly with the bonus versus infantry. Attacking against infantry 0, that's interesting. Maybe I haven't paid attention, but I'm quite sure they used to have a bonus versus infantry. Might have been removed in the patch to reduce the domination of axes, or make axes slightly less dominating. The royal thanes here are running away from the shield wall, whereas the royal companions are now moving into shield wall, blocking off the royal guardsmen from getting into these royal thanes. There's the shield wall, moving in a pretty weird way, but royal companion shield wall should have no problems dealing with the royal guardsmen. A lot of damage there, and the axes have done their thing against the noble skirmishers. Swordsmen charging into the back of feared axemen, which feared axemen, they do not have the best morale. Once they start losing, they could start wavering very quickly here. They are shaken, might break. Well, they will break, most certainly. Here you see the royal companions trading with the royal guards. I thought the royal companions would do a better job here than they are doing. Now the feared axemen are starting to waver. Pretty much a glass cannon, that unit. Decent charge bonus. But once they get hit back, they're going to die very quickly due to their lack of armor. Yeah, quite typical. Rushing in, getting a bunch of kills, and then they die in the follow-up, whereas the swordsmen in shield wall are much tankier. Now the Royal Guardsmen not in shield wall, Royal Thanes in shield wall, but they are going to get hit here by some Royal Guard cavalry. And the Royal Guard cavalry, 50 charge bonus, 50 melee damage. They will kill some Royal Thanes. Yeah, losing that combat quite hard. And the Royal Companions are now losing slightly. They are not in shield wall. They might have been given an order, and the Royal Guardsmen are in shield wall, so the Royal Companions are going to lose this fight, I think. Shield wall, no, not shield wall Royal Thanes. Yep, they just managed to get shield wall before they got hit, so that's very good for these Royal Thanes. And bracing on the Royal Companions. Still using brace, the Royal Guard cavalry is going to be able to do a lot of damage to them. You can see Royal Guards in shield wall have done a lot of damage. Nice charge here by the horsemen into the Royal Guard cavalry. But I fear it's too late for the Mercian general and the Prussian prince. These fights are taking a long time to wrap up.
Enemy general is fallen.
There you are, enemy general dead. So that could have been both generals actually. Let's see. It was actually the general of Duck that died first, I think. But it really could have been both.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
So now things are suddenly looking a lot better here for the Prussian prince. Wavering across the board for the Kingdom of Asturias. And at this point I can't see the Kingdom of Asturias having enough to weather the storm. The Prussian prince had a lot of melee units to throw into the mix. Levy spears going down. Royal Thanes moving around a bit. And this fight is still going on. If the Royal Companions had shield wall, it would be over. Here we go with the horsemen getting a rear charge on the Royal Guards, making them waver. And the Royal Guards get rear charged by the field spears, so final seconds of the game. Someone forgot about a cavalry unit over here in the forest. Pyrrhic victory there for the Kingdom of Mercia. And it just might be me calling these games wrong, but it seemed like Prussian Prince was it seemed like the Prussian Prince adjusted very well to the Kingdom of Asturias. Kingdom of Asturias cannot bring axes, and these axes all did very well. Kingdom of Asturias cannot bring sword units that are as good as the Royal Thanes. So ditching the skirmishers and just going full on rush, I think that was a very nice way of countering the Kingdom of Asturias. Because the Kingdom of Asturias, they do have a lot of javelins, but once you put the pressure on, and once you throw your cheap units into the mix, then this unit of noble skirmishers, it essentially becomes useless. It's a very expensive unit. If it uses its ammunition on a spear unit and starts taking casualties from that spear unit, then good night and good luck to your cost effectiveness. But nice to see the Prussian Prince turn this around and turn it into 1-1 in the Cup of Nations, rather than losing 2-0 to Agony Duck. And the Prussian Prince can be a very good player, especially he can do some unexpected things. His micro is quite decent, but as with any and all players, practice is very important. I certainly know, just speaking for myself, that if I don't practice, like with any other thing, then I become a noob very, very quickly. But the Prussian Prince still has some MLG up his sleeve. Strength and honor.